President Andrzej Duda awarded Vladimir Zelensky the Order of the White Eagle. The main topics of conversation between the two leaders were security issues in the region and the risk of a new Russian offensive. We support Ukraine to join the EU as soon as possible. Also, we support the strengthening of transatlantic ties. Now, at the forthcoming NATO summit in Vilnius, which will be in the summer this year, we are trying to achieve additional security guarantees which will strengthen the Ukrainian military potential, which will also strengthen Ukrainians' feeling of security, but which will also be a very important support to the morale of the defenders of Ukraine. The one-on-one talks also touched on the issue of further support for Ukraine by the Western world. Poland is among the top 3 countries after the United States and the United Kingdom that provide the most military aid relative to their own GDP. The more relevant ammunition comes to Ukraine, the faster we will be able to overcome the situation, not only in Bakhmut, but throughout the territory of our country. We will not give up our land, our freedom, nor any child. President Vladimir Zelensky also met Polish Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki. Earlier, Zelensky laid flowers at the tomb of the unknown soldier, in front of the monument to the late Polish President Lech Kaczynski, and in front of the Smolensk Memorial. When Russian tanks advanced on Ukraine, we launched humanitarian supplies and arms deliveries. When millions of Ukrainian women and children fled brutal Russian violence, we opened our gates, our homes. The top-level talks are part of negotiations on the shape of a new treaty between Poland and Ukraine, which will detail mutual relations. The last such document was signed in 1992. Today, the Polish economy, despite all sorts of challenges, is in very good shape. We would like Polish entrepreneurs to be able to cooperate with their Ukrainian partners in the future as well. Topics on historical dialogue and current topics related to the reconstruction of Ukraine were also discussed. The problem of excess grain imports from the country was also addressed. Arms contracts for Ukraine, but also about those issues concerning, for example, grain transfer rules. Helping Ukraine is in our interest and is our moral obligation, but of course we must also take into account our domestic, internal contexts. The Polish and Ukrainian nations are linked by several centuries of mutual, often difficult relations. History has its positive elements as well as its negative, from the Cossack Wars to the Volhynian Massacre. On the other hand, interests are important, and Ukrainians have learned like never before what role Poland plays for maintaining their independence and subjectivity. That without Poland they will practically lose the war. They know that. Poland is now becoming a leader in Central and Eastern Europe in terms of creating security. Among other things, Poland has donated more than 300 tanks to Ukraine. Poland is the one who sets new standards in terms of arms deliveries. And first of all, Poland initiated the delivery of MiG-29 aircraft to Ukraine. Poland was first to help at the beginning of the war a year ago. Later, Poland announced the transfer of Patriot anti-aircraft systems. So far, Poland has handed over 8 MiG-29 aircraft to Ukraine. President Andrzej Duda declared that Poland is able to hand over 6 more aircraft in the near future.